Dang it, did it again. Hello, my friends. Andy with the Andy Falco Show, coming to you live from California. It's 6:30 on a Friday evening, and I shouldn't be laughing because we're all in trouble. All of us Americans. I'm not sure what's happening in our world right now. I don't trust. Of course, I don't. Democrats are crazy. Liberals are destroying our country every day. Destruction is occurring in our country because of liberals and Democrats. But there's some Republicans that are not helping, and they're not supporting us either. I would, after Mr. President wins the second term, we really need to create another party, because you have the Democrats and liberals that are destroying the country, right? They're pulling down statues. Last night, let me see if I can bring this up. Last night in Portland, Oregon, they pulled down the statue of George Washington. I'll play this video here. They wrapped an American flag around Washington's head, and they pulled it down. They caught it on fire first. There's the American flag on fire, pulling down the statue of Washington. And the reason I'm showing that to you is because there it is. This American flag wrapped around the head of George Washington statue, and then they pull down the statue here in the United States of America. The first president of the United States of America. And there's something horribly wrong going on in our country right now that this is being allowed to occur, that Americans are allowing it to occur. Right now what I'm doing is I'm broadcasting. I know a lot of people are even afraid to put one little quote or something that has even a hint of an American flag or anything in regard to them being Republican. They're so afraid to say anything into a post supporting our law enforcement officers because they're afraid they're going to get canceled or fired, lose their jobs, right? And because it is happening. I'm not denying the fact that it's happening. But why? F those jobs, I quit. You got the young lady who was the stepmother to Officer Rolfe, who got fired from her job only because she's the stepmother to the officer who got wrongly arrested and wrongly charged in the shooting of a parolee who fought him, punched him in the face, and stole his taser, and then shot at him with the taser, and in defending himself, shot the parolee. And she gets fired. What is going on in our world? You got people burning a flag around George Washington's head and pulling it down, and nobody does anything. You don't see anybody from the state police going in there. You don't see anybody coming in regard to the damage to property, malicious mischief. These all apply, right? As a cop, if somebody would wrap a sign around a statue in Pearson Park in Anaheim, California, I would have been called. If I would have caught them doing that, I would have arrested them for malicious mischief. Since when is it okay to pull down artifacts? That statue, from what I understand, is maybe up for 100 years, something like that, and they're allowed to pull it down. What is happening right now? What is going on? This really is a crazy, crazy time in our world, and we need to come up with a different political party, because the Democrats aren't doing anything about it. They're actually doing it, and then the Republicans aren't doing anything about it. So you have Democrats and liberals that are, and I use them separately sometimes, and I probably should. It's just Democrats. I'm going to stop. I've tried to stop doing that, but Democrats just simply are destroying the country, right? And then you have these Republicans. Some of them speak out loud and do some things, but you have a large number of them who cover their eyes, do nothing about it, right? What is this? Cognitive, what is this? Clickbait. What does that mean? Oh, you mean the title? The same videos we can click on. Oh, the same videos we can click on. I don't know. It makes no sense. Was it clickbait? Was the title clickbait? Perhaps. It's just what I did with this title. The president kills 100 people in Tulsa is what the headlines are going to be over the next couple days. I'm telling you in advance that CNN and MSNBC, so it's not really clickbait. I guess you could call it clickbait if you want to, but the reason I titled it this way, because I want to be ahead of the curve. I want to be in the group, right? I want my videos to be seen once CNN and MSNBC begin to say Donald Trump, the president of the United States, whatever it is, kills hundreds of people in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I just want to be ahead of the curve, what that's all about. But we really have lost our mind in this country that we cannot trust either political party. Maybe independents, I don't know. Maybe we just join, all go to independents. But this really is a bizarre world that we are currently living in. As we have this rally coming up tomorrow in Tulsa, the media is so transparent in their hatred for the president of the United States and their bias that it is just so, it's so obvious that I really don't understand the Democrats that I have that are friends that I have respected up until recently, that they had some intelligence going on in their brain for some things, and yet still maintain a loyalty to the media and the Democratic Party, that they have not yet got tired of being lied to. That everything that has happened over the 3 years, whether it's the Russian collusion or it has to do with Ukraine or the Spygate and everything that went on with it, right? All the warrants they got for spying on people, that they were told in the media, the media told them, we have the goods. We know that Donald Trump is a spy. We have paperwork and documentation that says he was a spy. Turns out to be an entire lie, right? They don't care, right? It doesn't stop them from going, well, there probably is. We just haven't found it yet. No, they've been investigating this guy for 3.5 years and they found nothing. Everything is a lie. The Steele dossier is a lie, paid for by the DNC and Hillary Clinton. We know that for sure, right? We have people that know that were in the know that work for the DNC who has said that it has been paid for by the DNC. And you have this group of people, a large portion of our country, who still do not care that they're being lied to. And they've even been told they've been lied to. It's even been admitted that they've been lied to. The people that they were believing the lies on, on the shows that they watch, in Congress, they say something completely different. Why? Because they're under oath. And if they said the same thing they said on CNN, a week before, 2 months before, whatever it was, they would go to jail, right? You can say whatever you want on these they don't stop you, right? They don't get censored there. But Donald Trump puts a video up that has a red triangle in it, and now suddenly it is a Nazi symbol. And then if you do a Nazi symbol right now, I challenge you, and I'll just go ahead and show you the pages. Let me go ahead and get rid of my lower third. You know my name by now. So let me get rid of that so it doesn't block. Let me show you what it looks like when you do a search on, let's go to Google. We'll do a Google search. So suddenly the Nazi symbol is no longer a swastika. It is in this one, but it's now become a red triangle, right? That's all. Look at in the search, I put Nazi symbol, and I know because it's in the news. I know how algorithms work, all that kind of stuff. But really, you have one thing that shows the swastika. Everything else is this red triangle, right? And then you got Donald Trump's picture. What world are we living in? And then Facebook, right? Facebook is the one who blocked the video because supposedly it had this thing in there. And so that's what it's all about. Now let me get rid of that. Let's go to what other one did I use? I did some other ones. Hold on. Stand by. Oh, I know what I was doing. So if you bring up, this is it. I'm so sorry. I forgot what the next thing was I wanted to do. So if I go and now I show you, if I show you, hold on. I had another page set up here. Donald Trump campaign ads. If I type in, because I wanted to look for the ad that had this red triangle in it, if I do a search for that only, all you don't find any Donald Trump Facebook, or not even Facebook, Donald Trump campaign ads. The only thing you find are the stories about Facebook removing Donald Trump's campaign ad. Look at every one of these in a Google search only has to do with his ad being removed. Nothing on the first page shows you a Donald Trump campaign ad. So if you go to search for Donald campaign ad and videos, there isn't one. It's just the story that got taken out. If you go to all, the first thing you see is the Nazi symbol. You see the stories about Facebook removing his ad, and then all you see are stories about his campaign being removed. Right, all of them. There's not one, unless it's an ad. Of course, they'll take the money. Right, Facebook, Google takes the money, but they put the ad at the bottom of the page, not at the top of the page where you find most ads. So you know how when you go to Google and do a search, the first couple entries that you find are ads, not when you search for something in regard to Donald Trump. His ads are at the bottom of the page. I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. It is the crazy. Our world has gone freaking crazy, and we're allowing Google and Facebook and Twitter to control our lives with what they choose to show us. Because we're children, and that we only have to understand that the Democrats who are destroying our country, who have destroyed every major city, New York, Baltimore, Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland, Oregon, all these cities run by Democrats are all the ones you see that are on fire. They're all the ones you see that have the worst crime rates in regard to black on black crime, right? But yet we're supposed to believe the Black Lives Matter, which is a Democratic wing it's a wing of the Democratic Party, right? Black Lives Matter is a wing of the Democratic Party. We know that, right? It's already been exposed. And yet every city that's run by a Democrat has the worst history, the worst living conditions, the worst schools, the worst homicides on black crime, rapes, aggravated assaults, the worst history on black crime. But yet Black Lives Matter, as we go back to that fiasco and that fraud, a complete fraud. Everything about it's a fraud. And so now we have this thing coming up, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get back to Tulsa here. But let's look. I'm going to use Dan Bongino's video from his broadcast today, from his podcast, and I'm going to share with you something on his broadcast, because I can't find it. It's been taken down, apparently. But his podcast has not. So I can use the video that's in his podcast to show you the video that I cannot find. I've searched for it. It is not around. Where is it? Let's see. Hold on. Stand by. I got to look for Parler. Parler is the best. I'm going to show you this right here. So Parler, which is the page that I've gone to now, is the I don't want to say the conservative YouTube or not YouTube, Twitter or Facebook page. If you want to get away from all the craziness of all these other people, go to Parler, sign up, follow me, follow Dan Bongino, and see, you can go to Parler. It's Parler, Parler. Don't go to LOR. It sends you to something else. Don't go there. I don't know why they didn't decide to change the name of the app, but it's Parler, Parler. Don't go to the other one. And don't type LAR or LOR, type LER. All right, Parler. So let me play this video. Oh, you know what? I got to bring it back down again. Sorry, I didn't check the box that I'm supposed to check when I do that. So you can hear it. Here is what the liberal media is trying to tell you about the Trump campaign, about the Trump rally, how it's going to get people killed. But yet they're, as long as you're rioting and you're destroying property and looting, you're okay. Apparently the coronavirus, knows the coronavirus is extremely smart and knows that, that you are a liberal and won't give it to you. So it's okay for this to happen. So watch what the liberal media is doing here. Stand by.
Rally time, the worst thing you could do in the middle of this pandemic.
Trump is defying CDC guidelines.
Trump is pretending the coronavirus has disappeared. What did it feel like to be marching arm in arm there with the police chief?
A celebration there, carnival-like atmosphere. There's a guy who has a sign that says free hugs.
Music, people are hugging.
People showing up to his these precious rallies might get sick. I mean, they're acknowledging they might get sick and die.
Is that a smart move to have a rally during a pandemic?
This is going to be a breeding ground for coronavirus. We need to stop that. We need to ban political rallies.
It's a beautiful moment where people can get together.
Beautiful moment.
Very touching and extraordinary.
It's a beautiful, beautiful moment. I love you. A moment of respect and love.
President Trump is still planning to hold large campaign rallies with thousands of people packed, as he said, shoulder to shoulder.
I agree. I agree. It's the greatest thing. They are so stupid. I mean, when they do stuff like that, it just shows you how moronic they are and how they are not. They don't care. They don't care that they say one thing when it has something to do with them, but it has to do with us, Republicans and people that are Americans. You know, when Americans are trying to show their support for their party, show their support for the country and the American flag. No, you can't do that. You need to stay home. You need to put masks on. You need to hunker down, and you need to not show your face. But if you're rioting and you're pulling down George Washington and burning the flag on his face, that's okay. You don't need to social distance because the coronavirus won't attack you as long as you are attacking the United States of America. And so this is really becoming a war. And I know those are strong words. They sound like CNN, MSNBC, but it's going to end up in a war. Americans against everybody else. Because Americans don't pull down statues of George Washington and burn the American flag. Americans don't loot. Americans don't say, hey, all of you that are destroying our country, it's okay. You can go out and do that. We're going to hide in our homes because you guys apparently have some more honorable agenda destroying our country. But we can't. We can't. We can't go to a rally in Tulsa. Well, it's indoors. It's indoors. Yours is indoors. When they were looting, they were going indoors, right? I'm pretty sure when they went into the stores, they were indoors looting, fighting over each other for a television set. You saw them hugging each other, encouraging hugging. And so that is totally bizarre. I'm going to show you one other thing. I'm not going to show you a lot of pages here, and I hope it's okay. But I want to go to my Facebook page because I put a post up, and I set people up all the time. I know that those of you that know me, that are friends of mine, probably get me by now. I think most of you get me. But many of the posts, I set people up who are crazy. But I do also speak to those that oh man, I'm getting all these messages. This is my life. I get so many of these darn messages that are coming up. Hold on. Dang it. I can't get rid of them fast enough. They won't go away. So here's a post that I put up, and it says, my entertainment for the past few days is how crazy the Democrats and liberal media is regarding the Trump rally tomorrow. And then see here where it says more, see more. Below that, I put like, hey, watch the people that don't, because liberals and liberals don't read this, but Democrats don't read past because they're lazy. Because they want stuff for free. They don't want to go to work and earn their living. And so it's way too hard to click and read any further. So they don't. So down here, if you look down here, it says, because this part is below the fold, which means it's below that line. And they won't bother to read this far, and it'll be too much work for them. Watch what they will put. So watch the lunatics right here. Is what I said. Watch the lunatics comment on this post. And sure enough, somebody commented and she took it down. Her name's Shonda. Shonda put something up there. Welcome to Corona Fest, where we kill people or something like that. It was one of those. And I told you, they don't read past that line. And she put something there. And I said, thank you, Shonda, for not disappointing me. But now it's gone. Darn. I should have taken a picture of it. I can't believe I didn't take a picture of it. Oh, that makes me so sad. And they do it every time. They are so silly. again, most of it, they're just lazy. Democrats are known to be lazy because they just want everything for free. They want regulation. They want to live off the tit of the government. They want free education. They want free healthcare. They want free job, or they want free money. That's why many of them are still not going to work, because they're getting more money now not working than they were with having a job. Having a job is way too much work. It causes them to have to get up early in the morning and not play Xbox or PS4. Which I'm surprised they do that, because that could be work too if they're doing that. But yeah, Shonda took the bait and posted something crazy. And then I typed right underneath her, "Thank you, Shonda, for proving me correct." And then now it's gone. She took it down, and I think she's no longer. Darn it! I think I lost her as a friend. Dang it! I never cancel people as friends, because I really enjoy having the Democrats on my page and their stupid comments that they make, and reading what they put, because it's not thought out what they write. It's always about how horrible Donald Trump is. That's the one thing that you learn about Democrats, is that their only platform, the only thing that they have, because they have Biden as their nominee, right? Biden is their nominee. And so they can't, what are they going to say? Biden is fantastic. They can't say that, because they know that that's not true. He remembers. No, they can't say that either. Well, for the last 30 years, he's done all right, he's done nothing. He tells the truth. No, he got caught, plagiarizing other people's speeches. He got caught doing that. He's run for president 2 times before. The reason he didn't win and never even made it past the preliminary aspects of becoming president is because he got caught lying. He was friends with the grand leader of the KKK. Good friends. They'd even spoke highly of him on the floor of Congress or the Senate, one of the two, wherever he was. He was a senator, right? I forget what he was. And also he spoke at his funeral. So they can't say that he's not, arm in arm with racists, because there's pictures of him arm in arm with the grand leader, or whatever they call it, the grand person, the grand poobah of the KKK. That if you're not, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. He said that just the other day. So what can they say? The only thing they can do, it's always how horrible Trump is, that he's going to kill us. He's going to get us killed. Early on in 2016, all that was kind of like, a strategy that might have worked at the time, that, he's colluding with the Russians. He's friends with the Chinese. He's sexist. He's racist, right? That all kind of maybe worked for some people there in 2016. But the thing is, they haven't let go of it, and it no longer works. They think it does, because they're still bringing it up, right? You got Bolton, who come out with this book, and look, they're going to say that how horrible he was and that he was a Russian spy. He's going to say something in there, right? Or he's going to get us involved in a nuclear war. But it's been 3.5 years now. None of that has happened. He has done more for the black community than any other president that we've ever had, right? Other than maybe Lincoln and helping them become free. But he's done more for the black. And so these arguments and these ideas that he's friends with Russia, so he's going to get us somehow crossed over as like a subsidiary of Russia. If it hasn't happened by now, he's going to wait until a second term. In the second term, he's going to show himself to be racist. He's going to show himself to be a Russian spy. He's going to show himself to be friends with China. But yet they also say that he's racist against China and a xenophobe and all these kinds of things. Right? Okay, so the second term we need to be afraid of. The first term, he was fantastic and the best president of all time, but that's all going to now flip, and he's going to be the worst president of all time. I'm all over the place because it's crazy. Because they're crazy. And so let's see. Biden's a joke. The whole Democratic Party is a joke. Devils. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Whoever you are on Twitter. The Twitter people, I'm so sorry, I don't know your name. They are, they use these words like he's going to kill people. He is the most dangerous. You hear, what's his name? Bernie. Bernie only has like 4 or 5 things that he says anytime they bring up Trump. It's always the same thing. He's the most dangerous man on the planet. Wow. You don't think he would have showed himself as being the most dangerous man on the planet by now? We're looking at 3.5 years. I'm still waiting to see where he was the most dangerous man. He's pulled most of the troops out of those areas where we didn't need to be, where we're not police. right? Our military is not the police for other countries. He's absolutely correct. And pulling them out. Let them fight it. Let them kill each other. I don't care. But they haven't, right? He's going to get us into a war with Iran, and it's going to be so horrible. This war with Iran is going to be horrible. He's going to, nothing's happened. Right? I'm messing up my short hair. I can do that now because I got my haircut. Right? They keep coming up with it. But nothing ever happens, right? Oh, what he's done for the pandemic. There were supposed to be 2 million deaths, but there are only 200,000. Okay, now what do we say? There's only 200,000. Oh, not even 200,000. It's 100,000, right? There's supposed to be 2 million. No, it's the most horrible. It's the worst. We've lost more people than Vietnam, than 9/11. We've lost more people than. But you remember when you were saying it was going to be 2 million people? Did you forget that you said that it was going to be 2 million people? And now because the numbers are way less, it's a fraction of what they said it was going to be. Right? And most of them are people in a certain demographic where Cuomo put them all together in these homes where they all died. So Cuomo killed thousands of people, 6,000 elderly people by putting COVID infected elderly into the nursing homes. He literally did kill thousands of people, right? He literally killed them because he put infected people in these nursing homes. When some people said, what are you doing? You don't put infected people in nursing homes. Those are the most vulnerable. But Cuomo's the best. We should vote for him for president, even though he's literally killed thousands of people. Trump does so much to get us through this pandemic with, the list is long. It's stupid. They're going to say that he didn't do anything. He's been golfing. Yeah, he's been golfing as he sends 2 ships to the East Coast and the West Coast that didn't even get used. As everybody has masks, everybody has ventilators. We have so many ventilators that are going to other countries. All this stuff. But yet he's going to kill people. That is really, really bizarre. Let's see what this one says. Stop defending a fucking child. Stop with the cult shit. That's perfect. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Do you see? This is perfect. It's like Shonda's. I mean, it always happens. They never let me down. That's why I love having Democrats that follow me and do stuff, because they fall for it every time. This right here is exactly what what it is. Well, let's see what he says here. Here's some more good stuff. Why did he move from New York? Because he got asked to leave, dude. So he's due to his con artist shit. Many New Yorkers moved to Florida. I venture to say there's more former New York citizens, or people that, what do you call it? Former residents of New York who now live in Florida. Why? Because New York's a shithole, right? They have more elderly people in Florida, but yet a fraction of the people that it got caught COVID-19 in Florida died as compared to New York, right? The populations are very close. I can go through the whole thing, right? Cuomo killed 6,000 people, and in Florida, they didn't have hardly but a fraction of the people die. Most New Yorkers move from New York to Florida, where they all live. Howard Stern has a house in Florida. I could go on, but this is a great. I mean, it's just really right. It's never about how Democrat policies are better, right? Higher taxes, open borders, sanctuary cities, let criminals out of prisons. You never see somebody go, well, we're going to let a bunch of people out of prison, and so that's why you need to vote for Biden. We're going to have open borders. That's why you're going to vote for Biden. That's why everybody should vote for Biden. Like, you never hear those arguments. What else did he say? He said during the debates, I'm definitely going to raise taxes. Right? You don't have anybody going on, as when we raise taxes and make them as high as possible, that's going to be America that we all can love, right? You never hear those mottos. And you see these people like this that write stuff like that. It is the funniest stuff. Let's see. Did he write anything else? Where'd Joe go? Come on, Joe. Oh, here's one. Let's see what he wrote here. So can you explain his wordplay, how he mispronounces words and uses the wrong word at the wrong time? I think we all do. I do that constantly. and he does too. He does it a lot less than most people that I hear doing anything. If you watch any newscast, if you watch anybody that talks for a very long time, at some point you are going to misconstrue words and get them wrong. Mispronounce words. You're going to use things. It is really It's a part of being alive, right? I'm sure, Joe, you've never mispronounced a word. You've never used a word, a form of a word that accidentally means the opposite of what you meant to say. That's never happened to you, Joe. It is so awesome that you are perfect. If we wanted to go, if I wish I had some of the videos set up for Joe Biden when he speaks, do you want to go there in regard to how Joe Biden can't get through 2 sentences without messing up and forgetting his lines and forgetting basic it wasn't the Star Spangled Banner, but it was one of those things that everybody seems to know the words of, and he couldn't get it out, whatever it was. So there's another one of that's really, these are the greatest arguments. Joe, you have been, I'm hoping people know that this isn't somebody that's working for me. I know it sounds like I've set this up to have some clown come on and write the very things that I just told you that Democrats do. There is nothing that they can say great about Joe Biden in order to have a counter argument for President Trump. There's never. Try it sometime. When you have somebody say, okay, well, show me where he said that. Or tell me why Joe Biden would be a better candidate than Donald Trump. Well, that's because Trump is an asshole. Because he messes up his words. That's how. You're making me not get to my other stuff. I have so much other stuff to get to. Joe, can we just keep this going? I am a Green Party voter. Oh, that's even better. Let's get rid of all of fossil fuel, all the gas. Let's just go to wind power. Let's go to what else is there? Solar power. I want to see a plane. Show me the plane that's been built to fly with solar power. As soon as we have that, then I'm all for it. Let's get a plane that flies us all around on solar power. The Green Party is going to cut off all fossil fuels, all gasoline, because it's horrible for the world. But the world will essentially end if we get somebody in that just cuts all that stuff off. And so that's pretty awesome that you are part of the Green Party, because you are as foolish as the Democratic Party, maybe dumber. I guess AOC and Elian, whatever her name is, the chick from Minnesota, she's your Biden's a piece of shit as well. He is. Well, we can agree on something, Joe. I'm so happy that we could agree on something. Thank God. Because you're an idiot. That's why. I mean, you're making stupid statements. So that's why I would assume you're a Democrat, because most Democrats that I know of who have these arguments that Trump is a horrible person, that is the only thing you can say without anything to support what it is you're saying. Well, Joe's been really fun. Let me go to some graphics here. So this is really the basis, and I'm sorry for all those people because I was up into the hundreds of people watching. I'm now not at the hundreds. Many people have blocked off because I think I got sidetracked there too early. So sorry, but that was entertaining for me. Sometimes it's all about me and my entertainment. But let's take a look. So we have a tale of two cities in a sense when you're talking about Trump rallies and Biden rallies. And so if you're wondering why the Democrats are so incensed about this Tulsa, Oklahoma rally, is because they cannot stand the fact that so many people in America attend these rallies. And so this is a recent rally. I'm not sure which it is, but Donald Trump is in there right here in the middle. I don't know if you can see him or not, but he's right there in the middle. And so that's where he's at. And all those other people are the people that could get in. You have tens of thousands that are often unable to get in, and they have to watch on the outside. And so, and I'm just going to share that for you. I don't want you to think it's all about the people that are inside there. That is not really why the Democrats hate the fact that he's having a rally tomorrow. This is part of it, but it is really not the part. And so we contrast that with Joe Biden's rally from the other day. This is what he did the other day. This is Joe Biden's rally. And because this is the crowd, I'm going to tell you right now, there's no big crowd waiting on the outside of wherever he's at. This is some bar and grill that he's at. And I'm going to tell you, there's not tens of thousands of people waiting to get in because we have empty seats. And that isn't because of social distancing. That's because there's nobody there. So you got this rally, and then you have this rally. This rally or this rally. All right, so that's one reason why. But the most important thing about understanding about why the Democrats don't want those rallies is because the Trump campaign, the people that work for the campaign itself, are masters, right? We know that Donald Trump won in 2016 against all odds, against every poll that's out there. That's why the polls are hysterical. Me, like many other Republicans, we've talked about this. I have other people that I know that talk about this all the time, is that when somebody asks me a question or I get some type of telephonic poll question or something on the internet, I always vote for. I was voting for Bernie. Now I vote for Biden. So now I'm a Biden voter when it comes to polls. Earlier, I was a Bernie voter when I was being polled on the internet, but now I'm a Biden because Bernie's out of it for the most part. So now every time I get asked, I vote for Biden, and that's what most Republicans that I know, not most, but a large number of do, because that's what we do. It's entertaining and it's fun, but a lot of people do, and a lot of Republicans just don't take polls. But it doesn't really matter. All that stuff doesn't matter. But what matters is, back to the fact of why they don't want these rallies, is because they're masters at collecting information. It doesn't matter for the Trump campaign who necessarily gets inside, right? It's great for the people that get inside because they get to be there, they get to feel the energy, they get to hear live what the president is saying, and they're part of the energy. All that stuff is great. It's great for television, news organizations have to, they have to. Right. They have to take a picture. They have to show a video. Even when Donald Trump says something, like Joe said, like he misspeaks or says something wrong, that's the thing that they're going to show over and over again. The president doesn't care. Almost called him Donald. Donald doesn't care. The president doesn't care, because what they see, the people see, right, with their eyes, is a huge group of people, right? You're going to hear him say whatever it is that they want to use against him, because he's probably going to say something about the border, or he's going to say something about Antifa and saying how horrible they are and that kind of stuff. And you know that the Democrats love Antifa, but because he says something bad about him, now he's a racist. That's what the part they'll use. But the thing is what they're showing is a video of the huge crowd that he's saying that in front of. And who really cares? Who really cares? Because most Americans feel the same way. And again, I'm talking about Americans, not Democrats. And so you have that. The other thing is all the millions of people. So over 1 million people wanted to get into the rally. They are getting that information. So they are gathering the information of the people that wanted to be there, that took extra effort to try to be there, and took extra steps to be there. And what that is a fantastic marketing opportunity. As a marketer myself, you don't want to sell to the masses. What you don't want to do, because you're wasting time and money and energy, is when you're trying to spread out your word to a bunch of people and hoping somebody's going to see it, is that you're spending a lot of money trying to get eyeballs on your stuff, and you're only getting a little bit in return. So you're not getting a good ROI on the money you're spending by throwing crap out there and hoping somebody's going to see it. What you're trying to do is you're trying to do something, whatever it is, if it's doing videos like this or creating a show. So, and when I started this, there was 100 and something people on, right? 130, 145 people. So, and it's dwindled down. And now I have this message now. So the people that are still remaining are the people that really want to hear or being entertained or whatever it is, want to see what stupid thing Joe will say next, right? Those people are the people that are really kind of targeted and interested. And those are the people that I would like to market to. So if I was Donald Trump, these people that are watching are the ones that have stuck around. They spent more time watching. They have gotten through, some of the harder parts of this video, right? And they've lingered around. That means they either really like what's happening, and it doesn't matter if they like it because it's like stupid, or because it's entertaining, or because it's helping them with information. It doesn't matter. The fact is that these people have stuck around and done a little bit more than the people that have already signed off. And you see where this narrows down to a demographic of people that you can now begin to market to and say, okay, I'm going to ask you people, because you're the ones that have stuck around, if you would not mind donating $10, $25, $35 to my campaign. And now you're talking into a very narrow audience that seem to be really interested in what you're doing. And so your ROI is going to be larger, because now you're marketing to people that have taken a little extra time to listen to your message and spend some time. That is the beautiful thing about what Donald Trump does with these rallies, is not necessarily the people that get in. It's the people that sign up and want to get in, but don't get in, but they get their information. And now they sell t-shirts and hats. They ask for volunteers. I get probably 7 text messages a day, not only from Donald Trump, but from, the Republican Party in different ways. Because why? Because I am one of those people, have shown a bunch of interest in what it is that's going on with the Republican Party. And so I'm a person that they want to market to, because I'm the person who's taken the time to be around. So that is what the Democrat Party hates about these rallies, is because those million people are the million people that they didn't break through and get a hold of first. And so that is why. So this is what This is what they get. And this is what Donald Trump gets. All right. And that's not to say that the Democrat, I know people are going to say Democrat Party's getting millions of dollars too. Well, that's because they're getting it from other idiots who hate that Donald Trump is exposing people for what they are, that they are evil, nasty, terrible people that only care about power and don't really care about Black lives. They don't care about Mexican lives. These are all the people saying, that he can't build the wall because he's racist, because he, hates Mexicans and Black people. He's done more for the Hispanic community, the Black community than any other president, and wants to do more, but he keeps getting blocked by Democrats because Democrats really don't care about minorities and what is going on in some of the more shithole cities in our country. And someday, in some way, it'll all come through. So here we go. Here, look at Joe. Joe can't get enough because that's all it is, right? That's all the argument is. That is so good. I love this. All right. Let's see if we got some more comments down here. Thank you, Carissa. Truth. Thank you. Thank you, Carissa. Love you too. Rush Limbaugh lives in Florida from New York. I'm telling you. I mean, that's really a stupid argument. Leeds is not credible. Huh? Leeds is not credible. Leeds is not credible. Oh, maybe it's something else here. I got the reason of Obamagate. The CIA will not follow a lead and do an entire investigation if the could. Oh, wait a minute. Did you mess up a word? Joe, please say it isn't so. You didn't mess up a word. Is that a real word? Maybe I don't know what that is. What's could? If they could. What is that? Is that some super secret language that I'm supposed to know and I don't know and I'm the idiot? It's possible, but I don't want to believe that you maybe messed up a word because you said that when you mess up a word, you should not be considered reliable because of that. Obamagate is real, by the way. It's already been proven. Hey, Barbara, nice to see you. And they were told only one person at a time can talk. Don't confuse Sleepy Joe. Yeah, you never see him getting interviewed by Tucker Carlson or Hannity, right? He doesn't go on any of those shows. Maybe he used to, but you don't see him now, right? He only gets interviewed by CNN and MSNBC, and they struggle to help him, right? They're please, please get through this interview without forgetting my name. Who was it that did it? It was Chris Wallace did an interview with Joe Biden the other day. And Joe Biden's not going to ask him any tough questions, right? I mean, he kind of did. But then at the end of the interview, he says, all right, John, I'll talk to you later. It wasn't John. I forgot what he used, or Paul. And he goes, no, my name's Chris, right? Joe didn't even remember who he was talking to at the end of the thing. And he almost made it through the interview. And at the end, he forgot, I forgot who I was talking to. All lives matter. Of course they do. I mean, we shouldn't even have to say that, right? It's stupid saying Black lives matter, blue lives matter, all lives matter. It's a really dumb. It's just, we live in America. This is the greatest country in the entire world. We have been for a very long time. We are struggling right now with a bunch of crap, with a bunch of morons. We have Republicans that are not doing anything about these people that are pulling down statues. We should be in there arresting everybody for malicious mischief, for illegally lighting a fire on governmental property if it's in a governmental park or a state park, right? You got statues that cover that kind of thing. You have the looting that New York, they're arresting them and releasing them. It's just ridiculousness. That this is not just a Democrat thing. They're all morons. We all know that already. But the Republicans in many of these areas are not doing what they should be doing either. They're not holding. They're too afraid, right? Well, we don't want to look like jackboot. What did they used to say? They used to call me when I was a cop. Somebody asked me if I was a cop. Yes. So they asked me, you're a jackbooted Nazi, right? I forget what they used to say. What? Because I enforce laws and arrest people? I'm a horrible people because, the state statute says when you spray paint on a statue or a wall or a car or catch it on fire, you are suspected of committing malicious mischief. When it's over a certain amount of money, then it's a felony. So you got misdemeanor malicious mischief and you got felonious malicious mischief. And so according to what they destroy, you arrest them and you charge you with it. Why are we not doing this? When they took over this area in Seattle, right? You arrest them for trespassing. When you arrest them, when they go in and take over a police station, you arrest them for burglary. You arrest them for robbery if they're using a gun or any kind of weapon. In the process of doing that, whatever it is that they did, there are statutes that are covering all that stuff. Not one person was arrested. They said no. Give them the police department. Let them come in and destroy our police department. Let them come in and destroy 6 blocks of a city, and then we're going to call them peaceful protesters. What the hell? If the police just would have arrested the first person that came in there and used a spray can on anything, it would have all stopped. If the first person that went into the police station and wouldn't leave after being told to leave, you arrest them for trespassing. The one person that says you're going to leave or we are going to catch the place on fire, you arrest them for terrorist threats. If somebody comes in and hits somebody over with a bat, which we've seen them do, you arrest them for aggravated assault. You just don't let these people do the shit that they're doing. And I'm sorry, I didn't put up my disclaimer that I might be using bad language, but really, Republicans have let us down. And in some senses, even President Trump has let us down in the sense that he is not sending in the National Guard. Now, I know people, oh my God, you can't send in the military. The National Guard is for the nation. That's why they're called the National Guard. You send them in. The police aren't doing the job. You send in the National Guard. Right? We had police there, a police chief. We had state police. We had in California, we have the California Highway Patrol, which is essentially state police. Any of these things happen. If the police aren't doing the job, you go to the state police. If the state police aren't going to do the job, you go to the federal police. If the federal police aren't going to do the job, you go to the National Guard. That's just the way that it's supposed to work. I don't care if they're supposed to ask for permission or not. The people are not doing anything in regard to these idiots that are tearing our country apart. The Washington Monument is going to go down if President Trump is elected in November. That monument in Washington, D.C., I'm telling you right now, I've been right on almost every one of my predictions. And I'm telling you, even the title of my live right now is going to be a title for a news story by CNN or MSNBC that Donald Trump has killed people in Tulsa, Oklahoma by holding that rally tomorrow. You watch. And that's why I want to title it this, because I wanted to have my Facebook Live to be one of those first things that get found on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch, which I'm broadcasting live all right now. So this prediction is the prediction that if Donald Trump does not win in November, the Washington Monument is going to be pulled down. I would venture to say even maybe the Lincoln Memorial may be pulled down too. I know, because they've already done it in a couple areas. You wouldn't think Lincoln, out of all the presidents, Lincoln is the one who seems to get a pass mostly from people like Black Lives Matter. But I've even seen his statue be pulled down and be destroyed. You got Christopher Columbus and all this kind of stuff. This is all history stuff. They may have been horrible people, did bad things. All the Confederates may have done horrible things. But you have Washington and Jefferson. They were all slave owners. Right? Other presidents that were slave owners. We have other people, prominent people that were slave owners that are part of our history. That is our history. That's just the way that it is and way that it was. There's nothing we're ever going to do to change that. But that's part of our history. Just like we need to honor today, Juneteenth, as being, a great day. It's a great day for everybody. It's a great day for the Black community. It's a great day for the white community, that we should all be celebrating today, that the slaves were freed. And it makes our country stronger. We celebrate Martin Luther King Day for who he is a great man. He is a great man. He's rolling in his grave watching what's happening to our community, and they're not following his teaching. They're not following his example of what a peaceful protest is supposed to look like. All this other stuff that's going on is not based on what Martin Luther King taught, or his philosophy for peaceful protesting. And so, this is really a really crazy time. I am disappointed in the Republicans who have not decided that we need to protect our statues and our state parks and our federal parks and everything else that's going on. This is just a terrible time that we're not being protected. Americans need to raise up and rise up, and to not be so quiet. I know a lot of you are quiet because you're afraid that your friends may cancel you and that you may get fired from your job. I understand, but I feel like I'm alone in this world. I see people that are watching and saying stuff, but we need to do more. And I can't wait for the rally tomorrow. I hope he says some horrible, nasty things about a lot of people, because that is the best. And what he needs to do, and just call people out, because he needs to drain the swamp and call people out. All right. So I'm going to end this. I am stirring the pot. Thank you, Nabi, a man from Australia. The fact is that I'm telling the truth, and that's not stirring the pot when you're telling the truth. You learn history from books. Okay, good. No one else uses a statue to learn history. That's the lunatic. Insane. I know I am a lunatic and I am insane. But this is what you get, right? This is you get people like Carl and Joe. Is that guy's name was Joe, right? Thank you. Yeah, I love people like Joe and Carl. They're just, they're another person who probably didn't leave his house until he was 30, and maybe even still lives with mom. I bet you Carl and Joe still live with their mom. I'm betting. Let's see what he says here. When your ideology is pun, the libs, you've become bankrupt. Is PWN. I'm sorry, some of these things I don't know. What's a PWN? Anybody know? When your ideology is PWN. I don't know what that is. Somebody help me. I don't know what that is. I'm here full of little-minded people. Yeah, we have a bunch of them here right now. They're all rioting and pulling down statues. I don't know what PWN is. Oh, what? Oh, look at that face. JJV. Does he think he really looks like that on YouTube? Are my eyes okay? That is a beautiful picture. Own the libs. Oh, let me go back. Let me see if this sentence makes any sense. Now, when your ideology is own libs, no, that doesn't work either. JJV. Maybe you were giving it a shot there. I have no idea. PWN equals own, but that doesn't make any sense. Somebody help me. I love these shows when I get people on. I'm so happy that I broadcast to where I can have people that are just so crazy. When your ideology is own the libs, you've become bankrupt. It still doesn't make any sense, JJV. Thank you for trying to help out there. I appreciate that. You sum down to playground insults to try to prove point. It is ignorant. You sum down to playground insults. I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Exactly. Thank you, Mick, whatever your name is. Thank you for that. Yes, absolutely. Because that's all they got. That's all they got. It's just that, Donald Trump is a horrible, nasty man. He's dangerous. There's never any intellectual conversation or argument as to why we should be voting for anybody else in the Green Party, independent, or what have you. It doesn't really matter. Down to playground. Is the pandemic real? It is definitely, the virus is real. The virus for sure is real, but we should have never quarantined the healthy. It is crazy to quarantine the healthy people. You should have quarantined the elderly and all the people that were most vulnerable, because that's exactly what we've learned, right? Not like Cuomo, who you take and put the vulnerable in a nursing home, for instance, or in any other kind of home or building, right? You put all these 80-year-old, 90-year-old, 100-year-old people, right? Which Cuomo did, and you take people infected with COVID-19. You said, I have a good idea. I have all these people that are vulnerable. We know that. And we're going to take people that are infected with COVID-19 and we're going to put them in the home with the people that are most likely to die. Let's do that. Like Cuomo never thought, wow, that's a real, that's a bad idea. Like nobody ever said, hey, Cuomo, you don't want to put COVID-19 infected people in with a bunch of old people who we already know are the most vulnerable. Why? What do you think will happen? Well, tens of thousands of people will die if you do that. Let's just see. Let's just put them in, see what happens. And they all die, right? It's the, I'm not, over 40 is not elderly. Get out of here, Navi. But that is the craziest thing, right? We should have never closed down the country of healthy people. The children that have got infected is 0.000 something percent. Like what? There have been more kids that have died from the flu, from car accidents on the way to school, from bicycle accidents on the way to school than would have ever died if we would have left our schools open. There is no doubt, based on the science and based on everything that I know and based on what everybody else has said, including doctors that I've interviewed on my show, and said it is crazy that we shut down our country and quarantine the healthy, but yet we put COVID-19 sick people in with the elderly. That was crazy and stupid. All right, so that is dumb. So I don't know what your question was getting to. Is that were those 100,000 deaths fake? What are you talking about? Have you lost your mind? I just told you the COVID-19, just like any other disease that we have, cancer is real. We lose hundreds of thousands of people due to cancer. You know that 3,000 people die a day in car crashes. Metcatuxion. So that's 3,000 a day. People die in car crashes. We have not quarantined ourselves from vehicles. As far as I know, have we quarantined ourselves from vehicles? When 3,000 people die a day at something, you would think there'd be a total uproar, right? A total uproar. 3,000 people a day dying in cars. But yet I was in my car twice today, right? I did not go in my car because 3,000 people die a day in a car. Just like cancer, right? I'm breathing the air, even though I know there's carcinogens in the air. I know there's carcinogens in the food that I'm eating. I know that there's carcinogens in the couch that I'm sitting on. I know there's carcinogens in the soaps that I use and in the shampoos that I use and the deodorant that I use, right? There's carcinogens in all those things. And hundreds of thousands of people are dying of cancer every day. But we're not quarantining ourselves from being alive. I mean, I could go on with this. Do you want me to go on with all the things that kill people on a daily basis? But yet this thing that we know, right? We've known from the very beginning, as far as I remember, that we knew that the most vulnerable were the elderly that had pre-existing conditions that they would often die. All right? Those are the people that die. It's something I forget what it is, like 2/3 of the people that have died are elderly who have had conditions, additional conditions that would die. A lot of those numbers are people that died from cancer that had COVID-19. So you add to those numbers, you have people that died of something else, but they also had COVID-19. They're counting those people as COVID-19. We know that for sure because they have told us that they're counting anybody that dies and has COVID-19 as a COVID-19 death, even though it wasn't the COVID-19 that killed them. Right? So you can take those numbers and do whatever you want. But there's thousands of people dying of a lot of other things that we are not quarantining ourselves from. So we can have this argument all day long, and I can continue to bring up stats, the other stats that I've done in other shows, which I'm sure you haven't watched, and even the interviews that I've done with emergency room doctors who have talked about this fact, that it's one of those things that we know for sure who it's killing. And so we need to quarantine those people, not the healthy. We need to go back to work. We need to go back to school. We need to go to Tulsa, have a great rally. And some people are going to get COVID-19 when they're out there. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some people that are going to get COVID-19. There's going to be people that are going to get the flu. There's going to be people that get some other type of illness because of this person next to them has something else. And they're going to have people that catch colds. And the cold, I know people that have died from colds. I know people that have, and I don't know them personally, but I've heard people dying of these other things, right? And so there's going to be people that are going to die from other stuff that are going to get at the rally. You know why? Because we're human beings. And that's what human beings do. They get infected from other people for a lot of other things. Whether it's the what's the thing, the skin eating disease, whatever that's called. I'm just having fun now. All of you still watching, I'm having fun with these the dimwits that are coming up with all kinds of stuff. There's 36,560 people dies in. Wow, your English is really good. Dies in 2018. Okay. So like I said, thousands of people die from car accidents. So thank you for helping me make my point. From the stats. Let's see. I'll find it right now. Hold on. Death due to car. You're talking about just in California, or you're talking about just the United States? In the world, 3,000 people. Where is it at? You're going to make me bring up the thing. I'm going to find it here. Sorry for the silence. I'm looking for the. There is a study that I found that I used for one of my other shows. Yes, in the world, It's almost 4,000. The numbers are almost 4,000 people a day die in car accidents across the world. And I don't know where it's at. So it's there somewhere. You can look it up. It doesn't matter if it's the US. I'm talking about you dimwit. It's a lot. Please. Let's just go on. You got drunk drivers too. You got a whole bunch of other stuff. You know, we could go. I could just go on. And you people are funny. You can drove a truck for 6.5 years all over the country. 200 gallons of fuel every 2003. Ban big trucks, right? Yeah, let's ban big trucks. How would we're going to get food to the grocery stores? How? We're going to carry it on our back, right? We're going to have the people again, you know, carrying the stuff on their head. Oh no, is that racist? If I talk about people that carried stuff on their head, is that what we're going to do to get stuff to the grocery store? If any town leaders need to have a statue removed for its safety, contact mercury1.org. Glenn Beck's charity will take them and protect them, preserve the history. They will come and get them, no charge. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Carol. See, you got people. I know there's people on here that make sense on once in a while. So you're looking it up. The point to people. I will find it. I used it in one of my. Just you look at one of my old shows. I brought that up in one of my other shows. But again, you're talking about thousands of people dying about something, and now you want to shut down the world. 100,000 people in our world is a small percentage, especially when it has to do with the elderly. And again, if one person dies, that's horrible. But we're going to have another disease. We can't shut our country down, the world down, because we have a new disease. We have constantly new diseases that evolve. That's going to happen all the time. But you cannot shut down the country and pretend that this really is a marketing ploy for the Democratic Party to destroy our world. There's no doubt in my mind. I am not a conspiracy theorist. About Obamagate. Obama clearly is one of the most corrupt presidents we've ever had for the United States of America, who's done more to harm the country than any other president we've ever had. That is obvious. We can look up all the stats and all the things that he's done and that he's not done, and compare it to everything the president has done to improve the United States of America. What the liberals hate about Donald Trump is that he's not a politician. He's a business owner who runs the country like a business, which runs much better as a business, not as a corrupt, a large number of corrupt politicians have done for years. They've merely made money off of their position of leadership in our country. Tell me how Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, Joe Biden are millionaires when the only thing they've ever done is been a politician. You tell me how they've made millions and millions of dollars. It is through corruption and getting payoffs from not only corporations, but from other countries, right? The Clintons, millionaires. How did they become millionaires? They're both morons and they're both idiots, but they're very smart on how to get money out of these countries and through their corruption, right? And so this is what's being exposed. That's why both Democrats and Republicans do not like Donald Trump, because they get scared that they're going to lose the avenues of getting money that they're getting. That is why they hate him. You just have more Democrats, which pretty much is all of them, and you have a few Republicans that actually are doing the right thing. Unfortunately, there's not enough Republicans doing the right thing because our country is burning. We have people that are looting and nobody's doing anything about it. You need to arrest every criminal for every small criminal thing they're doing. Trespassing, catching things on fire, malicious mischief, taking over police departments, all the things that are happening. We need to begin arresting people for the smallest crime. I don't care if they're black, Mexican, or white. I don't care who they are. If they're holding a Molotov cocktail, they need to be arrested for carrying an incendiary device, and they need to be prosecuted, not taken into the station and then let out a couple hours later. No, they need to be arrested and they need to be prosecuted, and we need to start doing it now. Ending all of this now. All this bullshit that's going on needs to end now with the smallest of crimes. And I don't care who you are and what country you're at. The Democrats are protecting terrorists in all these states. That is what's happening, and that's why our country is falling apart right now. It has nothing to do with what Donald Trump has only done. He's only done good in 3 years. You've had Democrats in power for decades in these countries, and they have been destroying them for decades. All right, that's it. I've lost enough viewers. And I'm just done. I mean, you people have been so entertaining. I want to thank Joe and that other guy who came on with their stupid ideas. Because it just helps my argument. They did not come up with one thing, not one thing, that showed what they were saying was a more positive way to go. Right? It's always about how Donald Trump is the most evil, dangerous person on the planet, and most of us know the truth. He's not. He's just draining the swamp, and people hate it. All right, that is it. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye bye.